What's up, YouTube? This is going to be my weekly update for November 9th to November 18th, 2011. It's going to be a little over a week since the last weekly update I did, but I've been really busy with school and stuff, so I hope to get back on track. So I'm going to get right into it. I have a lot of stuff to talk about. The first thing I want to talk about is on last Friday I went to Downtown Mesa for their second Friday, which is their take on Phoenix's first Friday. Let me know their version of it. And this month's theme was Steampunk Street, and last month was Zombies versus Robots. I don't know if they theme every month, but it's an interesting idea. And it was also in conjunction with Mesa's Old West Days. So there were people dressed up as steampunk gear, and then people dressed up as, Western, Mesa's old Western time gear. And it was an interesting mix. They had music. They had a string ensemble that had like guitars and mandolins and other stuff like that. It was cool. I didn't catch too much of the music though. I don't know if there was any lyrics or not, but from the music, it did have an old Western kind of vibe. And then in that same area, the Western area, they had these cute little mini horses, and oh man, they were. They were tied up to these poles that kind of only let them go in a merry-go-round fashion. And I just wanted to ask them if they were all right and maybe try to free them. Like, hey, buddy, are you okay? You want me to let you go? But I didn't do that. I left as soon as possible because they just looked so sad. But anyway, so the first thing that I wanted to do, I went to this place called Evermore Nevermore to meet my friend and local artist Shelby Robertson, because I commissioned a piece from him at the Tucson Comic Con last week or 2 weeks ago, and he said that he would have it ready on Friday, that he'd be in downtown Mesa, and I was like, oh cool, because I was planning to go anyway to see a movie called The Dead. So it worked out very nicely. Shelby Robertson's the coolest dude. He's like an incredible artist, and he's an amazing... sorry, I already said that. Yeah, he's an incredible artist, and he's just a really cool dude, really laid back and stuff, funny as hell. And so here's the piece. It's a Spawn piece. There's so much detail in here. I don't think the video is really gonna do it justice. So Shelby Robertson was voted in the Phoenix New Times, a local newspaper, for best comic artist in Phoenix for 2011, and that's saying a lot because there's a lot of local artists, comic artists in Phoenix. So he was voted best of. There's so much detail there. Just to give you an idea of how awesome this is. This is an original piece that he did just for me. Whereas, like, for instance, not comparing the two, just showing how awesome this is. This is a print that an artist is selling. So he thought this was cool enough to make copies of and sell them. This is an inked piece, so that's where all the dark colors come from. That's inking there, but it's basically just pencil and ink. But they're readily available if you want to get some. I'm sure there's at least 50 of them or so. This is a one piece, a one of one, and you can imagine with ink here how awesome that would look. And so yeah, just to give you an idea of how badass this really is. Okay, so then I walked around. There was a lot of arts and crafts and stuff. Some of it was really expensive for what it was. I mean, like little necklace things, and they were like $70, stuff like that. Not that I was necessarily in the market for a necklace. It's just everything looked expensive, and some of it was steampunk themed, so I didn't really, I wasn't really looking to buy steampunk stuff either. But I did find this local artist. I've seen him around, I think. And if I haven't seen him, he's probably been in the same place I've been in. And he had these sketches. He had this cool book of sketches. They were $2, and I think he was doing like cheap commissions too. So he had this. Now, before you get freaked out and think, "Oh my God, why would I buy that?" First of all, it's a zombie themed. This dude, he was doing zombie themed stuff. He was working on a comic or something, like a web comic, and this is a print for a piece he did from it. And I just like this guy right here, and I like the fact that he attacked a zombie with an axe. The guy kind of looks like he could be a character in like a Texas Chainsaw Massacre kind of movie. I think I've seen something similar where the guy was dressed up in a similar getup, and he had goggles on. I don't think he had a gas mask. It's kind of creepy. It was kind of like a fat dude in a horror movie. I can't think of the name, but it was definitely a Texas Chainsaw Massacre kind of, people get stranded, people get abducted kind of thing. So I was attracted to that. And for $2, I thought, wow, he had so much stuff. Like literally, the next page had, I think, maybe like cartoon squirrels, and then he had, it was just such a range of stuff. But that's the thing I got. And in fact, he had so many little sketches like that. I kind of got overwhelmed, and I'd seen like, oh, maybe that's cool, that's cool, that's cool. And after a while, I forgot, and I didn't want to go through everything again, so I just took just that. But his partner, he was him and his friend were sharing a booth. And this guy was selling something. It was crazy. He said like one print for like $3, which is a good deal. It's a pretty decent sized print. $3, not bad. Or he said you could get all 7 for $5 or something ridiculous. I can't remember. It was like all 7 for $7 or something. So I thought, okay, cool, dude. I'll take all 7. And these are cool. It's a nice manageable size print. It's bigger than I don't know what to say, but it's not huge like where you have to have an investment in wall space, and it's not so tiny. I just think it's a really nice size, nice price too. So this is a print that's birthday massacre related, themed. And here's one, Mega Man. He had the original piece there, and it was 2 11x17 pencil pieces he had, and then I guess he had somebody color it in. And to be honest with you, as cool as this is, there's a lot of interesting colors here. I thought the pencil version had a lot of... I was really impressed with the pencil version, basically. And this is an abstract piece. I think it might go this way. I'm sure if it's abstract, though, you can pretty much put it however you want it. But I'm going to assume this is the piece. I don't know. There you go, Black Cat. This one kind of looks like a postcard. I like that one, though. That's really cool. Kind of sexy. She's laying on money and gold. Piles of money and bars of gold. And then this looks like a lightly colored piece. Mostly ink. It's pretty sweet. And then this one. He told me what this one was. I forgot what he said, though. It's kind of interesting. It's like sexy and creepy. I don't know. And so then this one's Brianna Brock. It's Vampirella. Alright, so those are all 7. So then we walked around a little more, killed a little more time. I got this humongous plate of curly fries that I saw go from a potato to this huge plate of curly fries. And then with like nacho cheese, it was amazing. So then I wandered into this really cool local comic shop, or not local, but Mesa comic shop called Gotham Comics. They're badass. They had a DJ and they have a little coffee bar, and it's just a really cool place to hang out there. And this guy named Big Chris, who's actually another really talented local artist, he's worked for Korn and other bands, and he can do art for your tattoos, and he's a color artist, and he's worked for video game, like, I don't know exactly what he did, but he was like part of the art for like World of Warcraft and possibly Halo. I haven't memorized his credentials, but I know for a fact it was Korn and World of Warcraft, and he's like into tattoos and stuff. His name is Big Chris. I told him how much I like this piece. It's 1 of 50, and he gave me a sweet deal on it. It's a really nice Jason piece. I told him he should have had that for the Kane Hodder thing, but he said he had it. I forgot what he said, but he should have had that for the Kane Hodder thing. I think people may have. It would have been interesting to see if people like that or the Victor Moreno one more. Then I went to go see. Okay, so then one of the main reasons for going, aside from the initial reason for going, aside from getting the piece from Shelby, was to go see a movie called The Dead. Here's 2 flyers I got for it. I sat on them. I put them in my back pocket and I sat on them. I forgot they were there. It's a zombie flick that takes place in Africa. I got posters too. It was nice they had posters. Zombie flick that takes place in Africa. It's pretty cool. It kind of had a Resident Evil zombie vibe. And kind of had a huge scope, kind of like The Walking Dead, like the apocalypse, kind of, there's nothing left. I got 2 more, actually. But it wasn't, it was kind of, it was like a drama. it had good acting. It had a lot of like they were conveying a sense of like loneliness. I think kind of in the way that it was like, especially for some of the beginning scenes, the the dialogue was kind of sparse, you know. So it conveyed, you know, a sense of aloneness and stuff. It was pretty cool, and the two main actors in it. There was two main actor dudes. They played their parts very well. It wasn't a huge big budget like Resident Evil kind of thing. It was kind of it's an indie film, but very well done. The acting was really good. I wasn't a big fan of the zombies, but it didn't detract from the movie. Just as far as a zombie flick goes, I think I've seen better characterized, you know, better zombies and stuff. In terms like they weren't very. Maybe they were too real. I don't know. I don't know how to, you know, critique a zombie performance really, but anyway, so that was a good movie. I would recommend checking it out. So that was Friday. A lot of stuff. So then on Saturday I went out to two shows, which I rarely do. I went to two separate concerts. One was for a local band called Man Made. Well, they were all local bands, but Man Made Machine. They just got signed. They've been touring around the country recently with a couple of bands like Tantric and Fuel and stuff. I can't name the bands exactly, but it was a good show. I took this poster because I like their logo and I like this symbol. Yeah, good stuff. They put on a good performance. I've seen them once before. I liked them better this time. After that, we just went to go see that one. We just went to see that one band, and there were bands playing before, but we missed all of them. And then we went down to Joe's Grotto, which is down here in Phoenix. $2 Gray was doing a video release party for their song called "You Don't Belong." I took this. I wouldn't probably. I wasn't. If this was just a regular poster, I may not have taken it. But I like this. This dude. It kind of has a Silence of the Lambs or Disturbed kind of Disturbed's album Asylum. It has that kind of theme. The video was badass. They played. It was like a full length video, like a Michael Jackson song, where it tells a, you know, there's an actual like little movie and then the song comes in. Same thing. It had like a Silence of the Lambs kind of theme for like 5 minutes. And then when the song came in, the band actually played with the song. And I thought that was cool. And I just thought that was, they brought their own projector. So they played the video and they were behind it for a little while. And then they played with it and then they, you know, just like packed it up real quick. I think that more bands should do stuff like that. Then the first band that I saw, it went Black Metal Box and then $2 Gray. Black Metal Box is cool. I've seen their singer fill in for another band, a touring band whose singer kind of flaked out on them, or they had issues with the singer, and I thought he did a very good job, and I would say that he's probably the highlight of their band. They've been around for a while, and I've seen them before years ago, and I thought they weren't very good, but they have a new lineup, and the music they're doing is really good, and I think the singers, their high point there. So yeah, that was Saturday, and then Sunday I literally slept all day. I slept like all day. My mom woke me up and said something about pizza, and I was like, all right, cool. So I got up, ate pizza, went back to sleep, and that was basically my Sunday: pizza and sleep. It was a good Sunday. But anyway, so then Monday was just a regular school day, and then Tuesday I got to go see Corey Taylor do an acoustic performance in downtown Phoenix. He was playing at this, what I'm assuming is a new place called the Crescent Ballroom. It's nice. It's part of a new Phoenix building, just like some of the other nice stuff they're building, and I hope it does well because it's cool. It had a full, it had a bar and a restaurant area, and then the inside was like a 500 capacity club, and it was awesome. Needless to say, Corey Taylor sold that place out. We got there, me and my buddy got there about an hour and a half early, thinking that they were the show was gonna start at 8 and the doors were gonna be at 7, so we got there at 6:30, thinking, oh cool, we'll be in line to get in. But as soon as we got there, they let the people in, so I mean, it worked out well for us, but I thought that was kind of messed up for people trying to think, oh, well, I'll get there at, 7 and it'll be a good time or whatever. It kind of, usually the places don't open up early like that. So we waited around. Corey Taylor finally came out. He did a little talk about his book. Every city he's going to do a different topic from his book, from the 7 Deadly Sins book that he just released. So every city has a 1 in 7 chance of seeing one of the chapters, and he does a little monologue about it. Then he reads from the from the book, going along with his monologue and stuff. And then he does a full length Q&A session with members of the audience, so it gets kind of rowdy. People are like, "Oh, pick me, pick me, pick me," and he just randomly goes around like stuff like that. And there's some goofy people. Like one guy, I can just imagine how much he must have been doing to get his attention. And the guy was all like, "We're not worthy." And it was awesome. And the stories he told in the Q&A, like about early Slipknot tours and stuff, were hilarious and awesome. He tells a good story. Then he took us. It was like for 45 minutes. Then he took like a 5-minute break and came back to play an acoustic set. He played like 15 songs, and he played nothing but classic songs, like Stone Sour stuff and Slipknot stuff. But he played Nine Inch Nails stuff, Rolling Stone stuff, Pink Floyd stuff. Well, one song from Pink Floyd, one song from Nine Inch Nails, but classic songs. And he just, it really, it kind of told a story, they all interwove, they were all, they went very well with each other. And he's a very talented musician. He put a lot of passion into them, and it worked out very well, his song choice. There was nothing, it was just a really nice set. I felt like, it was just a great set, and he's a very talented musician. Again, he played 15 songs. It was good. It started to get hot in that packed little club. That club was packed, which was amazing. And oh man, the crowd was singing along to every word. I'm not even joking. Like, the girl next to me was singing, the dudes over here were singing, the dude over there was singing, people behind me were singing. And when he had like 4 songs left, I really started to get hot, and I was like, dude, I've seen an incredible set. So I like walked out just to get a breath of fresh air. And I came back in, and because it was mingling around the back, I didn't want to like squeeze through the crowd or anything to find my friend. And like everybody in the back, well, in front of me, but like I was in the back, so everybody in front of me was singing, and they had these little bleacher kind of seats in the back, like 4 little bleacher rows, I guess, for people to sit, but people were standing on them. People were singing back there, and it just, everybody, like, it was an incredible vibe, and I could tell the vibe was great just being up front. I felt like I was I was like, wow, I felt lucky to be there. And, but when I was in the back, I really started to get a scope of how packed the club really was, and how enthusiastic everybody was. To every song, the Stone Sour stuff, the Nine Inch Nails stuff, everything. It was really, really cool. And between every song, cheers, like not just a little bit of cheers. It was one of those cheers where like it sounded like a stadium in this little club. It wasn't like a couple like yeah here and woo over there. It was like all you could hear was like ah when he was done singing. It was incredible. And so, which actually kind of leads me to my story about meeting him. So after the concert, me and my friend waited around for another hour and a half before Corey came out. But we did get to meet him. My friend bought his book, and he signed his book for him. Let's see here. Several things I want to say. So I did get to meet him. I took a small video that I'm going to upload, meeting Corey Taylor. First of all, they said no pictures. He had a woman publicist with him, and she seemed pretty adamant, no pictures. So I didn't want to press it. I was one of the first people in line. They actually formed a line. It was pretty cool. Made us form a line, and I was one of the first people. I didn't want to push it. I didn't want to be like, hey, Corey, can I be the guy that gets a picture, because other people hadn't gotten pictures, so I was fine with it. So what I did, though, was I was recording video, so I kind of put on a smile and was just kind of like, oh, God, I hope I'm aiming right. And I just kind of got close. I was like, oh, I hope I don't get too close. I had all these thoughts in my head. And when I look back at the picture, it was kind of like, I'll post a picture here. But my smile was kind of like it. I'm sure it didn't move. I was just kind of like, and I kind of like went into the frame and was like. It was so funny. I was like, oh, damn it. But anyway, so there we go. So what was I gonna say? Oh, so I when I got up to him, also I was like, after I got the picture, I was like, hey man, what'd you think of the show? And at this point, I think I was deaf because and he's so soft spoken. He kind of speaks with a low tone, so it's like, I don't know. I think he was like trying to save his voice or something, and I guess I wasn't hearing him very well. I actually cut him off a little because he said, I thought he said it was great, but he said it was great and something something after I watched the video back. And I was like, yeah, man, it was good. It sounded great, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, damn, I cut off Corey Taylor. And then he said, what'd you guys think? And I'm sure several people said, oh, it was great. And he's like, well, that's all that matters. And it was it's interesting because my friend said that, Corey, I don't want to speak for my friend, but he said Corey Taylor's one of my heroes, or is like a hero to me, or something like that. And I've been a fan of Slipknot forever, but I wouldn't call Corey Taylor a hero of mine. I have other bands that I totally look up to like that. But it's just it's interesting when like you get like 10 seconds with an artist that may or may not be your hero. I mean, if it's not your hero, then yeah, you're probably fine with just an autograph and you're like, all right, cool, I'm leaving. But like, if you want to get like a little conversation, like you want to say, hey man, what did you think of the show? And as soon as he answers like, oh, it was great, like your time is up and he's already moved down the line. You know what I mean? It's like, and if you were to say anything more like, oh yeah, I loved it when you did blah blah blah, and you engage him again, you're now taking that person's you're cutting into that person's 10 seconds. And if you go any further, you're now like, he's clearly like forgotten about you 20 seconds ago. And I just think that's a little interesting. It feels very like, you think like, it's like, damn, like I can understand that fanatical idea. Like, damn dude, couldn't I maybe just get 30 seconds, of your time? It's just an interesting feeling. I've actually had that feeling before, meeting once. I felt like, I was like, oh man, like I wanted to talk more. And I realized the guy was already kind of like, all right, dude, your time's up, and I was like, oh. And I was like, kind of like, well, this guy is such an idol to me. I don't just want an autograph. So yeah, it's just, I'm not trying to say that I'm fanatical or I would do anything, but I can understand where, first of all, why people like him need bodyguards, for someone that doesn't know how to handle themselves. And my friend was fine with it. It's just, I don't know. It's just an interesting feeling to get like 10 seconds of your idol's time, and you might not even get to talk to him. He might just sign something for you, and that's it. But so yeah, I got a really cool video. The video came out good. You could tell I'm excited in the video, and probably a little deaf too. So that was my week. The rest of the week, up until today has been pretty typical school week. A lot of sleep, not enough sleep when I need it. I took a chemistry test today. I hope that went well. I'll probably get it back next week. So yeah, all right. That's been my week. I hope to get back on track with my weekly update schedule. And as always, I thank you guys for watching and see you guys later. Bye.